Namaste. Today, we're going to understand reincarnation in a way that is logical, experiential, and rooted in Vedic wisdom. I'm going to talk about reincarnation as a model of how our identity continues. And as we go step by step, I'll also touch on the same doubts that you may have. So, let's get into it. Right now, you're probably thinking, okay, this sounds good, but how do we know all of this? So, we'll take every doubt one by one and try to resolve it. A simple question I have to start with is this: are you the body? Let's tackle this first. When you say, my body is tired, my body is confused, I feel anxious. When you say that, are you really the body? Or are you the one who is aware of the body? Anything you can observe becomes an object. I'm looking at my phone right now. I'm even seeing myself on my phone as I record. And I know that the phone is an object. And my image on the phone is also an object. They are not me. Even in science, we know that the observer is always different from the observed. Now, you may be thinking, wait, just because I can observe my body and mind, does that really mean that I am not them? Let me explain. You can observe your thoughts changing. You can observe your emotions coming and going. You can observe your body aging. But the one thing that does not change is the fact that you are aware. That awareness is constant. In Vedanta, this is called Drik Drishya Viveka. The seer is different from what is seen. You see your body, you're not the body. You see your thoughts, you're not your thoughts. You are the knower of both. So, if you're not the body and not the mind, then who are you? Vedanta says you are awareness itself, the consciousness in which body and mind appear. It's like a screen on which the movie plays. So this tells us that we are conscious, or part of universal consciousness. Actually, Vedanta says that we are reflected consciousness. And this blew my mind. You may be thinking, if consciousness is everywhere, why do I feel like it's inside me? I asked the same question. And Vedanta gives a powerful analogy. Imagine the sun in the sky. Now imagine there are many parts of water on the ground. Each part of water, you will see a reflection of the sun. It will look like there are many suns. Each part has a sun. But in reality, there is only one sun. The sun has not entered the water. It is only reflected. And in the same way, there is only one pure consciousness. This is called Paramatma, or universal consciousness. When that consciousness is reflected in the minds of people, it appears as individual awareness. That reflected consciousness is what we call Atman, in the individual sense of experience. So, Paramatman is original consciousness, the universal consciousness, the sun. And Atman is reflected consciousness in the mind. The mind is like the water. Consciousness is like the sun. If the water is still, then the reflection is clear. If the water is disturbed, then the reflection is distorted. If the water is absent, then no reflection appears. This is why a calm mind feels peaceful. An agitated mind feels confused. And in deep sleep, there is no individual experience. But consciousness itself never disappears. The sun is still there. There is one understanding. This one understanding alone can change how you see yourself. Now you're probably asking, then why am I not aware during anesthesia or deep sleep? If I'm conscious, why am I not aware when I am unconscious? Let me explain. Consciousness is always present, but your mind is the instrument that reflects it. Under, say, anesthesia, the mind is inactive, so there is no reflection. So there is no experience. There is no memory. But after the anesthesia wears out and you're conscious, you say that I was not aware of anything. How do you know that? Because consciousness was present, but the mind was not recording. It's like the sun is shining, but the mirror is covered. No reflection appears. Now that we understand the Vedic concept of consciousness, it's easier to understand the idea of reincarnation, rebirth, and liberation, moksha. But I have to explain the three main layers of human bodies, human being, according to Vedanta. Vedanta explains three main bodies. Sthula Sharira, the physical body. Sukshma Sharira, the subtle body, mind, ego, thoughts, and Karana Sharira, causal body, the body that holds the karma seed. Vedanta points out 5 bodies and even 7 bodies, the koshas, but they are just a more detailed breakdown inside the same 3-body model. So there's no contradiction there. So the next question is, what happens at death? When the physical body dies, the gross body drops, and the subtle body and the causal body continue. How do we know? How do we know the subtle body and causal body continue? Let's go step by step, according to Vedanta. Your mind does not depend on the physical body in the same way. Your tendencies do not suddenly become zero. Vedanta says these continue as a subtle pattern. The Bhagavad Gita gives the analogy, just as a person changes clothes, the self changes bodies. Right now, you may be thinking, this sounds interesting, but what is the proof? What is the proof that the subtle body and the causal body continues? For that, Vedanta uses 3 approaches. The first one is observation. When we observe children, we know that they are not blank slates. Some are born fearful. Some are born with musical talent. Some are born detached. And some are born deeply compassionate. Very early, before even the conditioning starts. Okay, genetics explains the body. The environment the child is growing up explains behavior. But nothing explains deep tendencies, early tendencies. These tendencies are there. And the Vedanta calls these vasanas. The logic in that is that every action leaves an impression. Every impression becomes a tendency. And tendencies always seek expression. If not expressed in this life, they continue to the next life. This is psychological continuity. The Upanishads say, as you desire, so your will. As your will, so your action. As your action, so your destiny. So, what actually reincarnates? Important. Consciousness does not travel. What continues is the subtle body, mind, plus the causal body, karma. These together create a new personality in a new body. It's like electricity and the light bulb example. The electricity is continuous. Light bulbs can be defective, but it can use the same electricity to light different bulbs. Next question is so, why rebirth happens? Rebirth continues because there are desires. There are unfinished karma. There's a strong sense of individuality. As long as the mind says, I want, I fear, I need, the cycle continues. And now, what stops rebirth? Now you may be thinking, if someone becomes free from the cycle of birth and rebirth, how do we know they don't come back? Vedanta says, rebirth applies only to the individual identity. When the false identification ends, there is no separate entity. There's no entity left to be reborn. It's like a wave realizing it's the ocean. The ocean does not reincarnate. So, this is what I'm getting at. Consciousness is one. Paramatman. Individual awareness is its reflection. Atman. The body dies, but mind and karma continues. New body forms. Until we realize that I am not the body and I am not the mind, I am pure consciousness. That is moksha, freedom from the cycle. Namaste.